Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Eat Right with Rouse's. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker. Thank you for joining us, however you may be joining us. And you can see that we are here in beautiful Rouse's as I am joined by our favorite dietitian, April Sins. Hello, April.
Hello, Keith. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining me.
Yes.
And thank you for letting me join you in Rouse's.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Because it is just, you talk about the beautiful colors of what these fruits and vegetables look like.
Right.
And Rouse's gives us that option.
Yes.
And we could use a lot of those fruits and vegetables to do something that I've got friends who make an absolute art form out of making sandwiches.
Yeah.
A sandwich is not just cheese on bread anymore.
Right. You could definitely make a sandwich very exciting, but you could also make it better for you as well.
Right. We got so many great options to talk about today.
Yeah.
And April does this every time we do a show. She cooks and does something beautiful, but we're going to be able to show you these beautiful sandwiches as we go through. And she brought them, and they're fresh and they're hot, and they're sitting right next to me. And so we get to talk about, that's exactly right. And so these are some of the beautiful options that we have, and they look so good. They smell great, but let's talk about how healthy they are as well.
Yeah, well, we have some great deli meat options at Rouse's now, and it is in the Boar's Head brand.
Okay.
And so taking your different meat options and your sandwich options can actually make your sandwich take it from good to great.
Absolutely.
You know? And so I'm going to give you a few tips on making some better sandwiches, and then we're going to go through the different options that maybe a lot of people don't realize that we have it at Rouse's, because it's pretty exciting.
All right.
So so there's a few tips for you. And one thing is looking at what kind of bread you're using to make your sandwich. I love a good seeded bread or a whole grain bread. Kind of makes you feel a little bit more full and satisfied whenever you're eating it. Another tip is, can we add some more veggies? So a lot of times whenever we make a sandwich, we might just put like one lettuce leaf on it or something like that. Can we add some more vegetables? Can we add the tomato on there, extra lettuce? Get creative with it.
Red onion.
Oh, yeah. Fabulous.
Avocado.
Yes.
Avocado makes every sandwich better to
Oh,
me.
great. I know. Oh, you're making me hungry just thinking about that.
Now it's my turn to make you hungry, so
Yes.
I like that.
And I know, absolutely. And then another thing, too, is can we look at the sandwich size? So we don't necessarily have to fill up on a foot-long sandwich, right? So we can look at the size of the sandwich, and maybe we can have some sides on with it. Maybe we can even pair it with a glass of milk, or something that can be more filling. Also, I think about fruit. I think about like a fruit cup with that too.
Right.
Is a great combination. And then that protein. So speaking of the protein, that's good lead in for me to tell you about these new protein items that we have at Rouse's.
Okay, I'm ready.
So in the Boar's Head selection, so if you go to the Rouse's Deli, and this is at 4 specific Rouse's, I'm going to tell you in the Bayou area, then I'm going to tell you which ones they are.
Okay.
There's a Boar's Head selection. And Boar's Head, if you're not familiar with it, it's a high quality meat. There's no gluten in it. There's no artificial colors. There's no fillers or byproducts, and no trans fat. So there are many different options, but I want to show you the lower sodium options in turkey and, surprisingly, ham.
Wow.
So
it's amazing to be able to do that, right? To have lower sodium in ham.
It really is. It really is. And so the first one I'm going to show you is going to be the lower sodium turkey breast.
Okay.
And it actually has the heart check seal on it. It has 46% lower sodium, and it's 360 milligrams per serving versus the 670 milligrams of sodium that you would normally find in turkey.
Wow.
So it
46%
is.
lower. That
Lower.
cuts your sodium in half.
It is right.
Truly cuts your sodium in half.
Right. And a serving's about a 2 ounce portion.
Okay.
And you see the little heart check on there, so
Right.
it is heart check,
healthy.
heart healthy.
Right.
And then the other one I'm going to show you is going to be a no added salt turkey breast, which this one is no salt added in it. Okay. And I do have a sample of that on this tray as well. And it's 55 milligrams of sodium. So there's no salt added, but naturally occurring, there is a little bit of sodium in it.
Right.
It's oven roasted and it's also preservative free. And it has 14 grams of protein, and that's for a 2-ounce serving. So that's a
tremendous.
really nice choice. And when you think about, you don't really have to add something that's high in sodium to a sandwich because you have all those flavors combined with it as
Right.
well. Another one is going to be a bourbon ridge smoked uncured ham. Okay, look how fabulous that
Wow.
one looks.
It does.
It is actually extra lean, which is, you wouldn't expect that for a ham.
Right.
It is low in saturated fat and it's 10 grams of protein. And then the next one I want to show you is 42% lower sodium ham that is 480 milligrams of sodium versus 840
Wow.
milligrams of sodium per serving. It is also extra lean.
And that's almost cut in half. Again.
Yes, and I want to point out this. You could visit these specific locations to find the Boar's Head Deli meat. Okay, so you have in Houma,
Right.
it's the Rouse's on Martin Luther King, and also the Rouse's on St. Charles.
Okay, both of those. Okay.
And in Thibodaux, you have the Rouse's on South Acadia, which
Okay.
is by the hospital.
Right.
And then also your North Canal location in Thibodaux as well. And
so both of those locations in Thibodaux, both of the locations in Houma.
correct.
You can get
correct. You
those
can
at.
find those different choices.
Well, and she's got some of those choices for us here. And so there are 4 of those that you can see. Aaron, take a shot of that before it gets destroyed. Because I promise you, it will get eaten as we're all really, really hungry now.
Yeah.
And again, these are 4 of those options. Look how appetizing that is.
Yes.
And we can get those right there at Rouse's. We can get them made, or we can bring some of those meats home and do that healthy at home.
Yes.
Great recommendations, April. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. My
As-
pleasure.
As you make me hungry again. And that will do it for this particular segment of Eat Right with Rouse's. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming right here on HTV.